hasn't been promoted right.
Haney hasn't been promoted right.
Devin Haney continues to get criminally treated in the world of boxing. He is a champion, WBC champion, and he can't get no work, yo. He can't get no work. So you see this photo. This is already years old at this point, and Devin Haney's been calling out guys like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's talked a good game, but I guess his anxiety got the best of him. And fast forward to the future, we have not seen this fight. Oscar De La Hoya is attempting to explain away why a guy like Devin Haney can't get the Ryan Garcia fight, and instead two mandatories, JoJo Diaz and Ryan Garcia, would instead fight each other. And it just sounds crazy. Let's take a listen. Roll the clip.
Why won't JoJo fight Haney? Because Haney hasn't been promoted right. Haney hasn't been promoted right. Haney hasn't been promoted right. Haney hasn't been promoted right.
Haney hasn't been promoted right.
He has, who knows Haney here? I would rather do Ryan Garcia versus JoJo Diaz, so just be happy with that.
What else?
Are you to India?
Wow. You guys heard it from promoter himself. He says, Haney, nobody know. I do believe. And listen to the words he uses. He says, I'd rather do Ryan Garcia versus JoJo Diaz. So just be happy with that. Wow, this is what it's come to in boxing. Just be happy with that. So basically what he's saying is, at the end of the day, whatever I give you, be content with that. Now, the WBC in recent memory has looked crazy for a variety of reasons. In case you're new to my channel, subscribe, check out some of the old videos. I'm not even going to go into every single solitary detail about why I believe the WBC has looked bad in recent memory. But trust me, if you're a boxing fan, you probably agree, right? WBC continues to look crazy because you can see this is literally the definition of a conspiracy. When people get together behind the scenes and conspire to create an outcome or a circumstance or sequence of events. And that's literally what's happening. Golden Boy Promotions, seemingly Canelo's gym. Anybody in Canelo's gym seems to have a get out of jail free card. This is a bad look. You have a company founded in Mexico with the WBC. You took over after your late father passed, and Mauricio Suleiman is running it into the ground. And it's just a bad look. It's a bad look because Canelo's gym, Canelo from Guadalajara, Mexico, Eddie Reynoso, and it's a primarily Hispanic Latino gym, and it seems like Canelo's gym can get away with various things with the WBC. They raised the clenbuterol levels after Canelo and five total Mexican fighters failed. Oscar Valdez had T, and then you had Mauricio Suleiman vouching and saying that it don't matter. It don't matter that he had T in his system. It didn't help him. It's a appetite suppressant. You can say whatever you want and say it's not a PED or say it's the equivalent of Red Bulls. There's no scientific proof of that. If that was the case, then how come you can buy a Red Bull off of the shelf at any local 7-Eleven, but you can't get phentermine off of the shelf and it's labeled a controlled substance, and doctors put you in a weight loss clinic to monitor how your vitals are doing. Like, they don't just put you on it, or they're not supposed to. A good doctor, responsible doctor, wouldn't just put you on phentermine and then just not monitor your progress with the drug, right? They want to make sure that everything else is on the up and up. That no one drinks a Red Bull and then the doctors have to supervise unless they have some kind of other complications or whatever. You can just drink a Red Bull and then be about your day, right? So now you have Devin Haney and Oscar De La Hoya situation, and De La Hoya is just saying, oh, Devin Haney, his name don't ring bells. What are you talking about? Devin makes more money than your fighters. Look at Devin Haney's lifestyle. Look at his cars. Look at his purse. Devin Haney, I know that for a fact. Devin Haney's been making money for a while. I know that for a fact. I was out in Oakland. Devin Haney sparred out in Oakland. He was like 15, 16. I don't even know if he had a license. I don't know what, maybe he got a license at age 16. And he had like a Range Rover or this yellow Jeep or something that was like huge tires. It was crazy. It was crazy. And this was when he was like 15, 16. This is what he pulled up in just for sparring. So I know he's made money for a long time. And then with his partnership with Eddie Hearn, looks to be lucrative. They pay him a lot. Like he was on the Logan Paul KSI card and he got like $1 million plus to fight a mandatory or something. So you can't, the funny thing is the WBC, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, they're running out of excuses to use as to why Ryan, Mr. Anxiety Garcia won't fight against Devin Haney. And Joseph JoJo Diaz post-fight, he talked a good game and he seemingly was different than Ryan Garcia and said, hey, I'm gonna get with my people. We can make this fight for October, November. And now suddenly that changes and Devin Haney could be without a dance partner. This is what happens constantly, primarily to black fighters, sometimes even Afro-Cuban. Those are the two ethnic groups that I see it happen the most to. Cubans, maybe even Afro-Cubans, or black fighters, where people are going to try to legitimize other fighters who are avoiding said black or Cuban fighter and throw the other fighter under the bus. Like people say, Devin Haney, oh, he's an email champion. He's not a real champion. He's trying to fight the best. He wanted to fight Lomachenko. WBC made him the franchise champion so as Devin Haney could not get the fight, right? Ryan Garcia, you've seen a concerted effort from Devin Haney to be at Ryan Garcia's fights to let it be known that he in fact wants to fight Ryan Garcia. And I'll be talking about this more and more. But guess what? You don't see the same energy from Ryan Garcia. Matter of fact, roll the clip.
I mean, that's just his own opinion. Like he said himself, you don't know till you get in there. From what I've watched, he's a good fighter. He hasn't done nothing special. So, I mean, to me, when he steps in the ring, he wins. But it's not something that, like, gets you off the seats. When Gervonta fights, he does something crazy. When I fight, I do something special. So, I mean, he hasn't done that. And he hasn't even fought nobody hard to say, yo, he didn't fight easy guy, so that's why he didn't do nothing special. He's fighting guys that he should get out of there and quit, but he doesn't do it. And I think Devin is he's being a little bit, desperate when I look at him right now. He need to calm down, just focus on himself and do something special. Focus on the performance is what I'm saying. He needs us. He don't have it yet.
He has the WBC though. He has the WBC. He
doesn't have it yet. You understand what I'm saying? He don't have it yet. Oh. So he's gonna need us at the end of the day. He's gonna need Gervonta, Ryan Garcia to get a big mega fight. You gotta understand. There's chess to this. You gotta be strategic. I'm not saying I would duck him. What I'm saying is he needs me. So what I'm saying is when the time comes right, I will go through him and I will beat him. I've already laid out my plan and I'm not going to go against my plan. I said I wanted to fight Linares. That for some reason fell out. Right. Now it's Luke Campbell. I named the second one on my list. So I'm going to handle that business. Then I'm going to go after Gervonta Davis and then Devin Haney, of course. That's my plan. I'm going to move how I want to move. You can't do nothing about it. But all I know is I'm in a position where they need me. No matter what you say, no matter who has about, blah, 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 you guys can say all you want. Everybody can say all they want. I don't listen to Twitter. I just look at the numbers. The numbers prove it. I don't have to say anything else. The numbers prove it. Until you get your numbers up, then you're going to be a little bit more in control. But right now, I'm in control, so it's all good.
Wow. So that was Ryan Garcia to the DAZN boxing show. And you heard the host, Barack, say, oh, but he got the WBC belt. He says he don't got it, though. He don't got it. So listen to how many different excuses there are to not fight Devin Haney, right? 1 minute before he fought Jorge Linares, they said, and it wasn't just Ryan, but Ryan was one of the people. They said Devin ain't fought no one. He got to fight someone top 10. His last fight, he fought someone top 10, Jorge Linares, and he schooled him, right? He schooled him. Then in this interview, this is November 26th, so I like to cross my T's and dot my I's, November 26, 2020. We're about to be in 2022. Today is October 1st, so we're a few months shy of a brand new year, and guess what? Ryan's still not ready, right? We don't even know when he's coming back. And this is also in the Canelo gym, right? And listen to what he's saying. He's saying that he needs me. This is what boxing has come to, where he just told you. He said, I don't care what people say. I don't listen to boxing Twitter. I don't care who has a belt. He needs me. So this is how black fighters are marginalized. You're admitting that he needs you, but you won't fight him until the quote unquote time is right. So listen, this is how you know when people really truly want to fight. Listen to the various things they're saying. De La Hoya is saying that for some reason Devin Haney can't get a fight with Ryan Garcia or JoJo because his promoter hasn't promoted him right. Then Ryan Garcia, in this interview from 2020, almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, he's saying he got to get his numbers up. What numbers? What numbers? His Instagram followers? Because in terms of finances, Devin Haney makes more than Ryan Garcia. They can compare bank accounts. He makes more than Ryan Garcia. Ryan was just complaining that he got $200K, that he only got $200K from Golden Boy. Eddie Hearn is taking care of Devin Haney, and he was making money before he even linked with Eddie Hearn. That I know for a fact, like I said earlier in the video. So what numbers does Devin Haney have to get up? When in the history of boxing have you seen somebody who had a belt have to do all this and go through all this struggle and strife to fight a non-champion? The non-champion who had anxiety, who pulled out his toughest fight on paper, Javier Fortuna, is telling the champion that you got to get your numbers up. Like, usually it's the polar opposite. Usually it's the champion that if they don't want to fight this dangerous, like Kell Brook, he didn't want to fight Errol Spence. And he was saying, oh, Errol Spence, I'm after the big fish, the Keith Thurmans, the Pacquiaos, the Mayweathers. I don't care about Errol Spence. He reminded me of Jeff Lacey. So usually it's the opposite. Sometimes you have champions that don't really want to fight this dangerous up-and-coming mandatory like Errol Spence was to Kell Brook. So you might see a champion say that. When have you guys heard a challenger like Ryan Garcia say that the champion who makes more money than them has to get their numbers up? It makes little to no sense. So we went from De La Hoya saying some foolery that Devin Haney, the way he's being promoted, he can't get the fight. You just did Devin Haney's last show with Eddie Hearn. What are you talking about? Devin Haney fought Jorge Linares, who was a Golden Boy fighter, right? That's a Golden Boy fighter. And this is what De La Hoya had to say post-fight. So I know De La Hoya. So how are you so mad? So he can't fight Ryan Garcia because of how he's been promoted, but you promoted Devin Haney's last fight as a co-promoter with Eddie Hearn and Devin Haney Promotions. Boom. This is shot after the Linares fight, right? And we'll get ready to play the clip. Roll the clip.
I think Haney's gonna become a better fighter after this fight, and Linares is still Linares, you know. So I think it was a great fight. But Haney has whiskers. He just elevated his game to another level.
Do you think it's time for a Ryan Garcia fight with Devin and Ryan?
Ryan is always ready for anybody.
So more cap. Ryan's ready for anybody. That's false, because you're not making it. You just said now. So this was immediately after Haney. You said Haney's a hell of a fighter. He beat up Linares, and you said he's going to learn from this and grow. And you said you gave him a compliment and said Haney has some whiskers because Linares landed that shot that clipped Devin Haney and rocked him a little bit, and he withstood that. Now you're saying he hasn't been promoted well enough to get either JoJo or Ryan Garcia, 2MANDATORIES. Unbelievable. Subscribe to the channel for more of that cook up. Peace. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.